Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video patch day again guys. And yeah, thank you all the members, all the patrons. Make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers until the end of the year. I always say this, but yeah, we are still doing that. So yeah, the KURNASS. So finally they added the KURNASS 2000. In my opinion, the best F-4 Phantom in the game. It has probably some kind of placeholder radar. I don't know how precise this radar is, but still very good radar, very similar to the EJ or the PG66, right? Has AIM-7Fs, has AIM-9 Ls, has the Agile Wiggle package, so it has the slats, so it can turn a lot compared to the other F4s, obviously. And overall, just a lot of countermeasures and just a very fun aircraft. I am going to use this aircraft in the future to actually get some ground battles as well, and you will know why at the end of the video. But first of all, let's talk about the air RB performance of the aircraft. Yes, it is still an F4. Don't expect anything different from that, obviously. I mean, it's just an overall thing that you don't even need to expect anything else, right? But it is the best F4 in the game, so you have something to actually have fun with it. It is, yes, sluggish as in the other F4. Yes, it is not that fast, but it does have a very good radar. It does have very good missiles, has countermeasures, so it has basically anything to be good. And it is a very good aircraft in the air-to-ground role, as I'm going to show in the future. But yes, it is very fun to fly, and as you see, when it gets a kind of a friendly BR, it can deal with everything. Obviously, I'm kind of using the furball that it kind of became this match at the start of the match, so I'm kind of stealthy, just killing everybody, which is always a good strategy in an aircraft like this, because you don't have the performance to beat an Yak 141, a MiG-29, an F-16, not in acceleration, not in turning capabilities, anything like that. So you do need to just be aware of that. But that's just an obvious thing. Obviously, you're not expecting to beat a MiG-29 in a dogfight in this. But every single feature and little update that this aircraft had, it does help a lot. So it is a very cool aircraft. The radar is very similar to the APG-66. It even feels like it got a placeholder model to it, because it kind of has the same range and the same functionality and the same everything. It doesn't have TWS, it doesn't have anything, it's just normal search modes, and then a search pull stopper mode. It is the APG-76 if I'm not mistaken, and it is a radar that is based off of a radar from the A6E aircraft, so it is a very weird one, but still it is very similar to the APG-66, so it is very similar to the EJ. One might even say that it is the same aircraft as the EJ, but with the Agile Wiggle package or the slats, right? So it feels like that. It really does feel like that. And yeah, I am being a little bit optimistic on the BVR kind of engagements here, but obviously these missiles, I don't want to be carrying them around too much, because I am kind of heavy to turn fight after all, right? So I'm trying to just not dump the missile, but just try to get a long range kills with it. I love to get BVR kills, and it is a very good thing to actually kill somebody in the BVR, just because you can just avoid any type of, you know, threat to your friendlies, because the enemy is actually very far away. So yeah. Here, an R-27 was fired on me. I tried to evade as hard as I could, but the missile just doesn't, the aircraft doesn't turn as much as it needs for that. And here we have a very interesting battle that I wanted to actually show to you guys. On a defense on this type of map, I am going to properly make a video talking about the maps themselves, but just make sure to consider that what is going on over here. Not everything needs to be focused on grind. This game actually, with these modes, it becomes a lot more fun. Even if you miss missiles, even if you do stuff that your brain normally will consider bad because you're not killing 7 enemies, but it's still very, very fun. For example, here I am together. It is not appearing right now on the screen, but I am kind of near a MiG-29, and me and that other MiG-29 right down there, it is also killing people down there, trying to kill people down there, and we are facing like, I don't know, it was like 4 enemies, something like that. And it is just a very strategic kind of engagement. I don't know if it's an F-14 that is shooting at me with AIM-54s. I need to go cold a little bit. There's the MiG-29 that it was with me. And it is just a long-range engagement. We are losing a little bit of altitude here to be able to turn a little bit more if we need to. And overall, just trying to find people with the radar. So I don't know about you guys, but I love this type of modern combat. It's kind of like a chess. You are trying to play it and see who bites the combat initiation first. You know, who initiates the kind of head-on. For example, this F-16 started it, and I just try to avoid the missile. And then we go for a full dogfight and stuff. So it is very cool, and the maps are very varied. So yeah, this becomes a lot more, you know, just fun. And I almost crashed there. I don't know what happened there, but it is just so much more fun, man, to fly. And as you see, I'm being attacked by 2 F-16s. The MiG-29 there is helping me. He killed one of them, and then he's going to go to the other, and he killed the other as well. Obviously very easy to fly when you have a MiG-29 protecting your Phantom, right? But still, you can see that even though the Phantom can have its problems dealing with this 4th generation, with this weaponry, with this radar, with the countermeasures, you can still fight it. Don't expect this thing to actually be better than a 4th generation aircraft. I don't think anybody would, but still I have to emphasize that. And it is indeed an 11.7 aircraft, which is a very high BR for a normal F-4, right? But these weapons, it makes it so that it is usable. We need to wait a couple of days until the premium F-4Ss start to go down a little bit. Maybe the Russians start not playing as much with the Yak-41. The fever goes down a little bit, and we will see a change to actually be able to see what is happening. And in the future, we will probably see a BR change in these general new vehicles that are being added, right? But still, you can already see that it is very much an 11.7 aircraft. And to be honest, it just emphasizes another point that the Mirage 2000, the MLD and MLA, they just cannot be 11.3. Because this thing is 11.7. And it is an F4, man. I don't know about you guys, but a Mirage 2000 and a MiG-23 MLD is better in a dogfight than a Phantom. The radar of the Mirage is better. The radar on the MiG-23 depends on the player, but yeah. And the missiles are all kind of comparable to each other. So there is no reason why this thing is 11.7 and other aircraft like that are 11.3. It really doesn't make sense. But as you see, just a very large and engaging battle. We detected the last target running for the base, as you see. And I just decided to go for it and try to actually get a heat-seeking lock from further away. Of course, the 9L has a lot of range, especially for a slow target. And I knew that he was going to try to just land. So I decided to try that. I got a little bit of speed. As you see, I wasn't actually wanting to go too further into that, just because I was without a fuel. And then I just fired a lot of A9Ls to see if one actually gets it, waiting for the burn to end. And then I'm going to shoot another one. And then I saw the missile coming, the Roland. So I had to just, try to evade the missile, and eventually it will get me, as you see right here. So but I killed the guy, so that was fun as well. Pretty cool. But yeah, guys, it is an aircraft that it is very much fun to fly. It is indeed very fun. It has this weird in-flight refueling system there. It has the B-place, obviously. Here you see the radar APG 76. It is 56 kilometers of range. It is the same range as the APG 63, as you see, 66, sorry, of the F-16s. So I don't know if it's just a placeholder or it's meant to be like this, but it's kind of copied, just a copy pasted from the APG 66. You have the Vulcan, you have the same engines. It is very much the same aircraft. It just has the normal radar, better radar, and new missiles. So very cool. But one thing that I wanted to show to you guys, it's this. So it actually can use the pave away bombs together with the pave spike targeting pod. So very cool. And also you can use the AGM-65D. I don't know if you remember, but the D variant is the variant of the 10A that it has thermals. So it is indeed a very interesting thing. Another thing that it's cool about it is that you can actually, back here, you can, as you see on the spots for the sparrows here, you could take more flares for it. So it is indeed a very interesting aircraft. Let's just show to you guys on a test flight here with some guided bombs. Some guided, you cannot take the, okay, I don't care. Then the bombs. AIM-9s, oh no, you cannot take AIM-9s. But then you can do this. You can either take some AIM-9s together for defense, and then take some countermeasures as well, for example, or even one of them can be a Sparrow if you want for self-defense. Well, let's go right here, for example. And it is a very much a good and weird kind of loadout. You can take the Mavericks, AIM-9Ls, one Sparrow to help out. You have still a lot more countermeasures than the normal ones, just to make sure that you evade those AAs, for example. And then you have another Sparrow for defense and the pod for the missiles. You don't have to actually use this pod for the missiles, but it does help a little bit. Let's just test fly it to see the overall image quality and other things like that. Yeah, so as you see, it doesn't have a thermal. But here it should have. Why is it not having a thermal? Let me take off. Oh, it should have. It would be in MFD. Let me just check my controls. But it was IR, maybe? I don't know. I really don't know what it would be like. It would be N, but for some reason it is not N for me. So I don't know what is happening here. Switch to NVD mode. So it needs to be that. So I don't know, maybe it doesn't have that in here? Doesn't the D variant has the it's not having it. Maybe it's the pod preventing it to actually do that. I don't know, let me test it again just to make sure. But yeah, as you see, you can change it for here, for example, and then you can use more countermeasures there. And then you have two AIM-9Ls to protecting yourself. You can still take the AGMs and have more chefs and flares back there. So it's a very good air-to-ground payload, right? It is going to be a very effective aircraft for that. It is not working. For some reason, the AGM-65D is not going for thermals. I think this thing has thermals. It should have. So I don't know what is happening, but pretty cool. And you have the extra flares there. So yeah, very nice, man. So yeah, but basically this is it, guys. It is an aircraft that I want to make a proper CAS video trying to kill tanks on ground RB, right? But I will not do this today because I need to focus on the new stuff. But still, it is very much a very fun aircraft. I advise you guys to use it. And it is, I mean, it had to come before the F-15 on the Israeli Tech 3, right? It had to. So very, very cool. So let's see again. It's just not working. You do have a lot of range on it. Oh my god. Let's just fire the missile. Yeah, as you see, working. properly. Very cool, right? But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. So